Here are some things you'll need for this video. 2 sliders or hand towels, a ball or something to kick, anything will do, 2 floor markers to mark the spot for your hands, a long elastic or theraband that you can tie between your feet, a box, a panel mat or a step, and a big bit of trusty wall. So you want to learn a Helicoptero. Here are some preliminary things I would love to see first. Can you do a handstand on the wall and circle those legs as close to the floor as possible in a nice full split, and also straddle all the way down to the floor? Can you cartwheel with your toes on the wall nice and close in a wide split all the way through? Can you do that on both sides? So we want to be able to do our good side cartwheel and bad side cartwheel really confidently for this skill. Next up, we want to work on doing some handstand scissor holds. So we're doing a full split and we're swapping our legs. We're going to need this for our Helicoptero. There I am just showing off at the end. The next thing we're going to need to be good at is a handstand pirouette. We love to start working these on the wall. Squeeze your body as tight as possible, turn your wrist, and then swing the opposite arm around to make a 180. There should be 2 hand movements for every 180. So we want to be able to do a handstand pirouette, at least a 180 on the floor, confidently first. Okay, it's time to start learning the leg movements of the Helicoptero. I love to start in a candlestick. You see, I'm sort of cartwheeling into my shoulder stand or candlestick, keeping my legs wide, and then splitting one foot close to the floor before I swing over and land on the opposite leg. So just think, in a cartwheel, I would normally start with the left leg and land on the right leg. But with a Helicoptero, it's the opposite, where it's trading our legs in the air, doing a little swap. So that means I'm starting with my right leg and landing on my right leg. Here you want to be able to push up into a bridge position and limber up just so that you're all warmed up and ready for the next stages. Speaking of, I'm grabbing a medicine ball here. Any ball or honestly any object will work for this. We often use our water bottles in class. So you've got your drinking water, pop your bottle down, and I'm grabbing 2 markers to sort of indicate my hand position. So I'm going to try and kick the ball or the object with my foot, and I'm going to place my hands on top of those 2 little markers so you can see where they're supposed to go. So my hands are behind the ball. I can see it the whole time. It's right there in between my hands. I'm trying to kick the ball and then land on the other side in a crabby position first of all. So when we do this, I'm starting on my bad leg cartwheel, which is my right leg. It's going to make the end phase of a Helicoptero much easier. So I'm swinging through, I'm trying to tap the ball with my toe, and now I'm turning the hands. You notice those 2 markers shifted before I fall into my bridge and complete my limber up. Here I've just added a little replay of that moment so you can see what happens. I almost touch the ball and I shift my hands a quarter turn before falling into that bridge. The leg will start by not getting that close to the ball, so we want to extend that movement as we practice and refine this skill. Eventually it should look like you almost tap the floor and then you continue over into a front walkover. What? I'm trying to limber up on my leg. Oh, I did it, yay. Here we are again, full speed with the entire Helicoptero movement. For these next ones, you're going to need a theraband. So I've tied a theraband between my feet. It's keeping them connected. So I'm doing the cartwheel on the bad leg, I'm doing a little swoop, and I'm landing in a baby bridge or a crabby position. Now here you'll see that the first leg is kicked up and the second leg is forced to follow it because of that elastic. So it really helps you to get the feel for this skill. So here I am starting with the right leg. I'm going to keep my legs as wide as possible and I'm trying to get that first leg to almost touch the floor, then the second leg to swing behind me and go into a walkover position. And here that is full speed. Little cartwheel, switch, walkover. Okay, next stage is usually doing it with our hands elevated on something. It makes that front walkover at the end much more easy to pull off. So I've turned my hand, I cartwheeled up, turned my hand, switched forwards for that front walkover, kept my hips nice and square and walkovered it up. Okay, I am now going to attempt the Helicoptero on my head. So I'm doing a little headstand cartwheel, swapping the legs and then walkovering up. Now, this is quite difficult to do in the beginning. I want you to just aim to land in a yucky baby bridge position. So it won't be anywhere near a front walkover for quite a while, but that's okay. I started by doing it into like a crab position or a baby bridge, then a big bridge, and finally a walkover. Here you can see I'm working on a tiger stand. So I'm on one elbow and one hand. Again, these are more approachable ways to do it. They give you a little bit more time upside down to figure out what you're doing, and they will 100% help you get your Helicoptero. I'm moving into an elbow stand now. So I'm on both elbows. You can see I've slowed down that movement for you so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm finishing up in a front walkover up. Okay, here you can see I've popped a couple of sliders down on the floor. This is really fun. So I've got 2 sliders down, and then I literally slide my hand that little quarter turn before I go into the walkover. If you don't have sliders, you could use 2 towels for this one. Okay, we're up to the final steps. So facing towards the wall, we're going to complete that full Helicoptero movement. Take your time, you can do this. Lastly, I love to see it with your back on the wall. So I'm going to try and get my entire back on the wall, keep my arms pretty straight, give myself enough room for that quarter turn, and walk over up. This is just a reminder, please take this skill slow, be patient. It took me honestly about 6 months to figure this out, which is a bit tragic for an acro teacher, but I got there in the end. All right, this is a really fun way to play around with the leg movement. I just grabbed an elastic and I tied it to something high. You could use a chin-up bar or a bar if you train at a gym. And you can work on swinging those legs around in a circle. What? I got a bit stuck here. It's a really, really fun way to do it. Some key things with that Helicoptero: keep your tummy extremely tight. Don't let your back arch too much until it's time to go into that front walkover. Make sure you're practicing your front walkover with really square hips and shoulders. That's going to help tremendously with landing this skill. Also, some good things to be working on: middle splits. Doing handstands with your back on the wall and rocking your legs from side to side in a split helps a lot as well. Number 1, have fun. Be safe. Make sure you've got a mat, and send me your videos if you would like any pointers or tips, and let me know if this helped you out at all with getting your Helicoptero. We would love to share. Don't forget, your Helicoptero journey may be a long one, but it's a fun ride and we're all here for it. So please enjoy yourself. Good luck. You've got this.